Right, so let's move on to the next question. We have another question here, which is a very interesting question as well. So you need what is required here is we need to simplify the following, right? We need to simplify. Right, so we need to simplify. So that means that from its set we need to write it in its simplest set form, or we need to write it in an exponential form, right? So the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at this question, right, is what is common between the two equations? Between the two expressions, between this expression and this expression, right? So what is common is the root 2x minus 1 and the root 2x minus 1, right? So that is what is common. So I'm going to try and use the K method, right? Because I need to see clearly what is happening. I don't want to work with a long expression, right? So in order for me to make it simple, I'm going to apply the K method, right? So I'm going to let, right? So let's write this again. So you have your x plus 2x minus 1 times your x minus 2x minus 1. So as I've already indicated, this and that is common, right? So I'm going to try and use the K method. So I'm going to let K be equals to the root of 2x minus 1, right? That's what I'm going to try and do, right? So I have the root of 2x minus 1, right? So if I want to write this in a simple form, right, if I want to write this to be in its simplest form, right? If I want to convert it and make it an exponent, remember we want to change what? We want to change it from a set form to an exponential form, right? So what I'm going to do is square both sides. I'm going to square both sides, right? So I'll be left with k squared is equals to 2x minus 1. Great. So I just park this here, right? So I continue now. Now I have the root of x plus in place of root of 2x minus 1, right? Okay, I think we're supposed to write it so that even offline you'll be able to see what is happening, right? So what we are going to do is try and let it be there, right? And then we are going to try and solve it here. So it's the same thing, but I'm doing it so that even offline you'll be able to see what is happening, right? And you will have k squared equals to 2x minus 1. So you park this here, right? And then you continue here. So that means that you have the root of x minus or x plus k, right, times x minus k, right? So what I can do to simplify this, I can express this as one set, right? As one set. So I can write this entire thing as one set, So I will have x plus k times, sorry about that, x minus k. It's literally the same thing, right? It's literally the same thing. You are used to having x, let's just say, if we had a square root of x and a square root of x here, this would have easily been xx. Right, if we had a square root of x, a square root of x, this would have easily been everything x, right? So it's literally the same thing. Here we have a product, we did not do anything, it's still the same thing, right? So now we are going to try and solve what is in the bracket, right? And how we are going to do that is we are going to have x squared minus xk, right, plus xk, right, minus k squared, right? So this and that will cancel, and then we are going to be left with x squared minus k squared, right? Remember what is k, right? Remember what is k. K was what? In fact, k squared, right? We do have k squared already. We do have k squared, which was 2x minus 1. So we are going to try and substitute that, right? So now we are going to have equals to, and we are going to have x squared what? Minus 2x minus 1, right? And then when we solve this further, we are going to have what we call x squared minus 2x plus 1, right? So remember what we said, we don't need a set. This is still in a set form, so we have to simplify it further, right? So we can make this be a difference. We can factorize this, right? So we can make this to be a difference of 2 squares. So we are going to have xx, right? Because it's a positive sign there, we are going to have negative, and it's going to be negative 1. So this is the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Both, it's the same thing. You have the same thing, you have the same thing, right? It's more like having a same base, right? If you think about it, you have x times x, right? If you think about it, it's like you have x times x, which is the same as x squared, right? So you are going to have x minus 1 squared, right? And then when you simplify further, you have x minus 1 squared all over 1 over 2. So when you distribute that, right, so the 2 and 2 will cancel out, and then you are going to be left with x minus 1 as your final answer. So now this is written in an exponential, or in the simplest form. So from here you simplified it from a set form and you made it an exponential form, right? So you end here. This is your final answer. It was 4 marks. It was not really difficult, right? It was not really difficult. So let's move on to another question and see.